Hey, everybody. Hey, guys. Hey. What's up, people? Give it up for yourselves. What's going on? Hey, everybody. My name is Sir John. Yes. Well, first of all, give it up for yourselves. Can you turn to your left and say, this is what it looks like? Can the church, can you turn to your left and say, this is what it looks like? Can you guys turn to your right and say, let's glow? Let's do this? Hey, guys. So I am about to present someone who I love so much. I think she's a dear friend, and she's a really amazing co-host. Have you heard about the Naked Beauty podcast before? Yeah? Are you familiar with the Naked Beauty podcast? Did you know that for year 2 years in a row, Naked Beauty podcast has taken home the iHeart, will beat everybody else, I would say, in the iHeart fashion and beauty space. So I'm really proud of my sister. I think that this is a really, really great way to celebrate so many talented people in the community of beauty and fashion and who create so much art. So guys, do you have an idea of what happened last night? Thank you for the microphone. I can lower my voice now. Do you guys have an idea of what happened last night or what last night was about? Anybody? Can I get one person? Can anybody tell me what last night was? Okay, cool. So yesterday is the first Monday in May, and last night's theme was what exactly? Costume art. Costume art. So one thing I love that we're doing, Brooke had an idea. How do we celebrate the artists in our community? How do we continue to cultivate? Because this is the blueprint. If you turn around and you look around, you'll see all of this melanin in this room, and this is the blueprint of what style and what cultivates culture and how we move it forward. So I think that I know I'm so blessed to be here in company with so many amazing talent who happen to be some of my peers. Some I don't know, some I do, and we want to celebrate you guys today. But without further ado, I want to bring out one of the dolls, one of the girls I love so much, Brooke DeVard. As she's texting on her way,
Thank you for the warm introduction. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here the morning after the Met, and I could not be more excited for this live episode of Naked Beauty. So I used to do this episode virtually. I would talk to people that did all of the prep for the Met, but I think the Met is fun because we have conversation with each other, and I love hearing people's takes, what they loved, what they didn't love. So that's what today is all about. We are going to get into it. You're going to hear from the artists behind some of the incredible looks on the carpet and from like the culture makers that make the Met worth watching, because the Met is fun because we get to all watch it together and comment together. So I am so excited to jump into it and get started. How's everyone feeling? Everyone looks good. It's a very fashionable room in here. Thank you so much. I'm wearing Tongoro, designed by Sarah Diouf, who is based in Senegal, and her clothes are amazing. So very happy to be wearing Tongoro. Okay, I have so many of my favorite people in this room, and the first segment is the making of the look. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Coree Moreno. Now, I have this picture here on the bottom right of Coree and I. This was the first time that Coree and I met. We met at Mr. Chow's. Instagram did an event where they would have all of the top makeup artists and hairstylists that were doing the Met come together for a dinner. I saw Coree walk in with these aviators, this all denim look, and I said, who is that? Who is that? And I need to know him immediately. We connected, we went back to LA, we were locked in. You got to do my hair a little bit before you went and ascended on to bigger and better things. But Coree is the visionary behind Chase Infiniti's incredible hair look. So Coree, come on up. We're gonna get into it. Hi, Coree. So Coree,
hey, y'all.
Coree Moreno, ladies and gentlemen. Coree has done hair looks for La Roche. Heard of him? The Refinery 29 lookbook, which I was so excited to work on that with you. Jodie Turner-Smith, Lil Nas X, Teyana Taylor, Zendaya. I mean, the best of the best of the best. And you have your own signature style. I did have to ask you, I asked all of the panelists, what is your favorite Met Gala look of all time? And you chose this one. Talk to me about why.
I just feel like it just is major. She embodies like power in such a simplistic way. And like I'm all about like chic, understated like power and eccentricness. So this is just like me all day.
This does feel very you. Now you guys will notice that at your seats, you guys have these thumbs up or thumbs down cards. So if you agree that this is one of the best Met Gala looks of all time, can I see a thumbs up? Oh, I see all green. I see all green thumbs up and some people waving them. Yes, this is. And have we seen Solange at the Met Gala since?
I don't think so. I think this was the last one.
Grace us with your presence again.
Yes, this was one of my faves.
Well, the hair.
Yes. We get into it.
You absolutely. I was screaming when she came onto the red carpet. How many people love Chase Infinity's looks? Show of yes, show of thumbs, exactly. So, Corey, Met Gala. It's not your first Met Gala.
No.
You've done Met Gala before.
Yes.
But it's very high stakes, high pressure. So what was the vision for Chase's look? Because you've been working with her through her whole awards season, we saw you at the Oscars with the braids. We've seen all of these incredible looks that you've done. What was the vision for her Met Gala look last night?
I think when I work with Chase, it's always important for me to like put her first and like take her culture into consideration. She's a biracial young lady. And I always want to like not push her into any direction that doesn't feel authentic to who she is. For the Met look, I really wanted to like push a new narrative, add some color, brighten the story. I feel like sometimes primary colors can make you feel a little bit off, and like when you're having multiple colors happening. So I feel like a blonde moment always aids in natural hair feeling so much more elevated. So I wanted to really like highlight that and give her a space to like be a little more tan and have a little bit more contrast with her hair and complexion. So yeah, that was the real journey with it.
And I feel like you've been so great about embracing natural texture, and not everything has to be perfect. Not every hair has to be laid into
100%.
place. A little bit of frizz and texture is okay
100%.
on the red carpet, because that's what our hair naturally does. It doesn't want to be bone straight.
Literally. I mean, even with this look, like I use Bellamy hair extensions. They have a range of new textures and things like that.
Shout out to Bellamy. Those curly clip-ins.
Honey.
We love.
But like I intentionally use multiple textures because I kind of wanted to show like the range in that texture, and it's just not feeling like too perfect. But yeah, I'm really happy with it.
Oh, it was so good. You did such an amazing job. Now,
thank you.
What is it like the day of? What time do you start getting ready? Do you see the dress first? Do you talk to the makeup artist? How does it all come together?
I mean, honestly, it was about 2 weeks before where we're like going through sketches. We're like having conversation with the stylist team. So it's a full engrossed, like they want to see what I'm thinking. So we're all on a collaborative same page.
Yes, and it was Wayman and Micah, right?
Wayman and Micah did the styling.
Amazing.
Amber did the makeup. She's amazing. So it's like it's a collaborative effort to really like bring the whole moment to life.
Yes. Now, what is a detail that we wouldn't know from just looking at the images?
Well, she didn't color her hair, so that's all extensions.
Love.
I'm so like intentional about like hair care and hair health. So like I'm not gonna like color your hair for one night. So I really made it my business to like achieve this look in the most healthy way.
Remember when Kim Kardashian like bleached her hair
100%.
blonde?
Yeah.
It didn't look
the night before.
Yeah, it didn't look that healthy, but she got the look. She got the look. She got the look. So you do Chase, and then what is that moment like waiting for her to hit the red carpet? Were you at the Mark Hotel? I was at
the Mark Hotel.
Okay, I was at the Mark.
Yeah.
We should have met in the stairwell.
The stairs.
The stairs, so good. So
too much.
a lot of talent gets ready at the Mark Hotel. I see some people here in the audience that were with me at the Mark. Ace, Meacham. They shut down the elevators starting at 3 p.m. They shut down the block pretty much starting at 12 p.m. And then you have to take the stairs unless you're like an approved exit. And there's just so much paparazzi, so many people there. So the Mark is kind of like base camp for the Met Gala. So you're at the Mark, you finish everything, she runs out the door, and then are you just refreshing Getty Images?
When I say it's like so nerve-wracking, because even like you said with natural hair, like it ebbs and flows with like the humidity, or like I'm like, is it hot on that carpet? Like what's going on? But I think it's one of those things where it's like I trust myself.
Yes.
So I'm like constantly refreshing the internet, seeing what's going on, and I'm like, I need to see what's happening. But it's definitely one of those super nerve-wracking moments until it actually hits the carpet.
Now, do you do a hair test? I'm always so curious about that.
No. Honestly, like it's like we pull up, we get those Met we did 4 hours. Normally it's 2. We pull up, we get those 4 hours, and like it better eat. Like we don't get a chance to like try it out.
Where does the pressure show up for you?
The pressure shows up for me, honestly, with like making sure the other departments are happy with what I'm doing. Like,
Okay.
I know my client trusts me, but I think it's often when I'm like working with like a big brand like Tom Brown, I'm like, are they satisfied with my depiction of a black woman in their garments? Like, so it's constantly in my mind to like make sure I'm checking off all the boxes, and at the end making sure my client is like put first.
Yes.
So it's a deep dive
I
into all
know.
of that.
But I think, Corey, you're so intentional about your own like mental health and well-being. Like you're deep into your
100%.
yoga and your music frequencies. And Sir John talks about this a lot. Sir John, you're going to come up in a bit, but as a professional, you are an energy destination, and people are taking from your energy and they're reading your energy. So the energy that you have on a big day, like Chase can feel it. Everyone in the room can feel it. So you have to really stay centered.
100%. I mean, we've been together for a while now, so it's like I've earned her trust. But even on a day like that, like she's like, I'm nervous. I'm like, girl, it's gonna be good. Like I'm there to do hair, but I'm also there to kind of be a guide in that like calming way.
Yes. Okay. I love it. I love it. We're going to do a little game called Close Up, Met Gala Close Up. So who paid close attention to the red carpet images as they were coming? Okay, I'm gonna pick a volunteer because I have the Naked Beauty fragrance here, and I'm going to choose 4 winners to win one based on if you are able to identify these close-up images. So can I have 2 volunteers come to the front? Someone who feels brave, or raise your hand again. I'll call on someone. Okay, I saw your hand first. Please come. Okay, Aria, come. Let's do this. Introduce yourself. Where are you from?
Hi, I'm Maya Bluthenthal, originally from LA. I work at UTA.
Amazing. Thank you for being here, Maya.
Of course.
Aria.
How are you, darling? It's so good to see you. I'm Aria, everyone. I'm from Brooklyn, and I'm a singer-songwriter, so I work for myself. Naked Beauty. I can't lose.
Okay, I'm going to warn you. These are a little bit hard. Okay, Aria, I'm going to choose you first.
Blue Ivy.
Oh,
Sorry. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I saw the shoe.
so the middle shoe, you're saying Blue Ivy.
Yes.
Okay, Paddles, do we think she's correct? Yes. Okay, Maya, do you want to take a guess at one of the other ones on screen?
Bad Bunny.
Oh, okay, you ate that. And now bonus, who knows the final? This one's really hard.
No,
wait, let's give Aria and Maya a chance. If they don't know, I'll pick someone else.
I know it. I'm just like blanking on her name, but it's Jules from Euphoria.
Peter Schaefer in Prada. Okay, here's the reveal. Congratulations, you guys win a Naked Beauty fragrance. Tamar here is going to give you your thing to redeem, and we also have Naked Beauty fragrance here. It's a beautiful scent, neroli, sandalwood, green tea, unisex, very sexy, perfect for spring and summer.
Perfect for a single life, too. I'm going to get back out there.
Yes. Thank you guys for
All right.
playing. Okay, I need 2 more volunteers for this next section. Tay, what's your name? Sherlyn. Okay, come on up, Sherlyn. Okay.
Can I guess the first one? That's the only one I know, y'all. Okay, so this is Janelle Monáe.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wait, sorry, introduce yourself and what you do.
Oh, I'm Tay, actress model from Brooklyn, New York.
Yes.
And Bookie's friend. Hi, y'all.
Wait. I want to be kind.
Yes.
Which one do you know?
Oh, I know both.
Say.
Oh,
Okay.
there he is.
Let's go.
I'll do this one. It's Madonna.
Okay, amazing.
Yes.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, hi guys. I'm Sherlyn Dauphin. I own my own business as a mocktail company, and then I'm also a content creator as well.
Amazing. And we do have a mixer after the show, so that's why I just want everyone to get to know each other because it's a great room.
Hi, my name is Kingsley.
And where are you from, Kingsley? What do you do?
My name is Kingsley. I'm a designer. And it's Naomi, Osaka.
Amazing. Great job. Thank you guys so much for playing. You guys will get your Naked Beauty fragrance as well. Okay. So, speaking of Naomi Osaka, Sir John, come to the front. Sir John really needs no introduction to the Naked Beauty audience. Your work has been seen by millions.
Can I give you shoe cam,
Yeah,
guys? Can I give y'all a shoe cam?
Shoe cam.
I got these from Grinson in London. Guys, I tried to match the venue. So
Yes.
I'm not sure if I did a great job, but
Something that Sir John has taught me from us doing multiple things together is he's always like, send me a picture of the room. And I'm like, honestly, T.
the venue matters, guys. Venues matter. Venues
He's
matter.
like, what color is the seat that we're sitting on? What does the room look like?
What's the height of the seat? Also, ladies. So if you're wearing skirts or things like that, you don't have to. You can be demure. I'll say that. I'll say it that way. Yeah.
Sir John, how many times have you done the Met Gala?
Wow. I've done the Met. I would say this goes back for me to Joan Smalls, who's been my original muse. Do you guys know Joan?
Of course.
So Joan
supermodel
Smalls and
Joan
Carly
Smalls.
Kloss and Jordan Dunn. And so I would say the first one was we kind of broke the internet with purple lips at the time. This is when people weren't wearing colorful lips. Do you remember those days?
Oh, of course.
I think this might have been a retaliation when Naomi told Coco Rocha about the lip, and so Joan was like, now we're going to do a purple lip. So I don't know if that was anything, but long story short, we did it, beauty editors. This is when back in the day, can I give you an idea of the landscape then? Everything was about, the next morning you did an exclusive with Allure or People, shout out to Jackie and all those girls. And so all of these journalists had this idea of what would it look like for everyone to get the look the next day. Now everything is not diffused, but we live in an era where, no one really has to tune into much. E is gone, or all of the ways that we used to absorb the information. So inspiration is not as linear in the same way it used to be. So I would say yes, to answer your question, it started with Joan, and all of the years that she's went with Tom Ford, with Olivier, with Peter Dundas. I think my favorite Met was with Beyonce in when she wore the naked dress. And it wasn't supposed to be a ponytail at the time, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yes.
And so it was, I'm sorry, did you have a question?
No, please. This is the lore that we want. So please tell us. Let's talk about this ponytail look, because I know it kind of came together last moment.
Last moment. So shout out to my boy Neil Farina, who's in Brooklyn. And so we were getting her ready. So the day of the Met, you want to make sure that sometimes we try it by doing 2 clients, right? And when we do, it's everybody loses. So if anybody who's a young makeup artist or hairstylist, stylists can do that because they don't necessarily have to be there in the same way. But I remember leaving Carly Kloss, and then I went straight to her, B. And so she's the last person on the carpet always. So I felt safe knowing that I wasn't going to have her, and they're not going to close the carpet if she doesn't show.
Right.
So I think that was we had a really good time. It was a bun. It was like a chignon at the top. She felt it was too contrived. And so in the sprinter on the way there, she just sort of took it down and sort of brushed it out.
Wow.
And she does that. She kind of
Was Neil cool with that, or was he like?
He would have to be. He's gonna have to be. But she has an apartment for her glam. Like, so we don't. We get her ready in her.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
I'm like, is this an exclusive? So we get her ready in another apartment, so she doesn't have to, just
be at the Mark, like be at a hotel amongst other people.
Yeah, no, she's not.
Okay, so she's got an apartment like by the Met where she just gets ready.
She has an apartment in the city. Yes.
Just to get ready.
It's her dressing room.
Amazing. Is that where all the wigs are?
It's where all the
things.
All the things.
Oh, a new dream, a new goal in life.
Yeah.
An apartment to get glammed in. I love it. Okay, so you're at the apartment.
Yeah. So that happened with that one. The one I got to tell you, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. And I'm not sure if you guys know, like, the work that I've done over the years, but you have to also be, listen, you can't be in this space, when we look at social media and we look at how this makes us feel about ourselves at times. You can't, if you're brought up by compliments or likes, you'll be brought down by criticism. So if it matters or if it moves the needle for you and to you to get all this applause, I mean, it's nice when the team wins. It's nice when my client is winning, when it looks like there's harmony on the carpet. But because if you take any of that shit and really take it to heart, if you do get a negative review, it doesn't feel good. So let me tell you about a negative review I got. I remember, so the next year she went with Riccardo Tisci. This is when he was at Givenchy, those years before Burberry. And this is the pearl dress. So mind you, I have to say this, and I'm gonna keep it quick because I know you guys have so much other stuff to talk about. But when you're working on a carpet that you know is going to be lit in the daytime, a daytime carpet is very unforgiving. Do you
100%.
Nighttime carpets, because of the flash illuminates you. A flash is like concealer. Guys, don't ever let people take photos of you without a flash. Always give me a flash. Give me something that's going to build me up. So I knew it was going to be tough. So I gave her this graphic eye. She liked it. Ricardo liked it. We're all in the house. And I go, I do my thing, and I leave. I open my phone and I'm getting attacked by the beehive. When I say attacked,
So editorial and chic, but people didn't.
but if
Maybe
you
they
saw,
didn't expect it from her.
if you saw the graphic shapes were symmetrical. They were even. You know, the color payoff was beautiful. It was a beautiful metallic green. You know, and so it looked really great. I guess in photos or when we captured it, but the beehive didn't like it, and they let me know. They were very firm, and their disappointment with me that day.
Oh, well, we love it. We love it. And you've given us so much over the years in terms of just beauty culture. We have to talk about last night's look. You did Miss Naomi Osaka. And I have so many questions for you because I want to know about the hands being red.
For
Like,
sure.
did you
Yes,
do that? So
Yeah.
take us through it. What was the whole experience like?
Yeah. So, guys, Naomi is a really amazing, gentle human. And so, the first thing that I did when I got the call, and this is like public knowledge, I can say this. I call it Stephen Galloway. So, Stephen Galloway is an amazing movement coach. Do you know does anyone know who Stephen Galloway is? Legend. You guys
I
should
do.
know this.
But
Everybody here should know
You should
who he is.
explain to everyone what a movement coach is.
So everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, Rihanna, Beyonce, everyone has either a choreographer or movement coaches are people who actually, he's been with Diana Ross, you know, Naomi Campbell. They're on set, they're helping you either capture the essence of the designer, they're helping you tap into your body, or helping you tap into the spirit or the mood that we were trying to evoke at that time. He's legendary, bro. Black man. And so I was like, Steven, we have Naomi. She's doing this thing. Jason Woon, he's an amazing designer. She loves him. And she's worn him before. But I know she's not an actress or she's not a supermodel in a sense where they just go and they do that thing and they turn it on editorially. So do you have an idea? Are you in New York? Would you love to come through and help her with movement or feel, you know, her way around these garments? She's also going to change 3 times for the evening because she's going to after parties. He's like, damn, I just landed in LA, you know, because we both live in LA. I moved from Harlem to LA. And he said, I have someone else. His name is Jacob. He's a principal dancer at Martha Graham, the ballet company. So I brought in basically a principal ballerina to help her, you know, just find her movement or find herself. And that is why I know this talk about, you know, why paying so much or why this whole thing.
We saw
recently.
the Simone Biles. So who saw the Simone Biles?
It's
controversy?
value. When you create value, guys, I'm not sure what you guys do or what you're into, but when you create a level of
we should
value.
explain what the controversy was, though, for people that aren't familiar. She said that I paid $22,000 for glam, and she was upset about it.
She didn't say glam. She said overall.
Overall, okay. Recho is asking a good question in the front. She says, does that not feel high? Now,
So
my interpretation of that is that there was at least like a $10,000 dress included in that.
I think that
Or flights.
Flights. I think that has so much to do with styling. Styling takes up guys. We just work around stylists. Stylists are the main character.
They eat the budget up.
They eat the budget up.
So
They're the ones. They tell us what to do to a certain extent.
really? So you guys take your cues from wardrobe?
100%.
No, because you know what? The talent takes their cues from wardrobe more or less because they want to be seen as a fashion star. So they come in and they're with the talent maybe weeks prior. You know, the dress kind of leans into the day, and we're the bippity boppity boop at the last minute, or we get a brief like 2 or 3 days before. But all shout out and respect to my stylist, but they do have so much power to influence how a woman wants to see herself and how she does see herself, you know? And they have the relationships like law with these major designers, and they can make you a fashion star. With that being said, that budget was not just hair and makeup.
Right.
That budget was, you know, wardrobe or some. And my whole thing is this, you know, there might have been someone underwriting this. So she's not paying out of pocket necessarily always. And if she did, I would look at her team. I'm looking at, you know, who else is sponsoring this? There has to be a skincare company involved, a hair company.
Yes, 100%.
So a lot of that was a little bit smoke and mirrors. I have to say that was some bullshit. I do want to say that. But I'm going to say this and I'll be done. You have to create value. So when I say I'm not just coming with a brush, I'm creating a lot of value that I know is going to translate really well. So she had a beautiful dress. We had a movement coach. The hands were like painted on. So all of this was something that I just came in and saw. And I just wanted to figure out what can I add to this, you know? So I knew it was really hot under that. So for me, it was like, how do I control the oil? Or how can I control the fact that she's going to be burning up and not have a fan? So, yeah.
Yes. You did an incredible job. And I see you were at the Mark Hotel, too. I'm like, content idea just popped into my head. Someone take a reality TV crew and just go to each floor of the Mark and capture all of the chaos. Because it's like,
do you know
all
the
in these different
NDAs
little
that would
rooms.
be involved?
I know. I know. Well, my last question for you both, because I think we're in a room here of people that love beauty, we love the artists. What can we do to be supportive of you? How do you want us to show up for you all and champion your work?
That's a great question. I think humanize us first.
Mm-hmm.
That often feel like a worker, even at that high level. So like just to like really give me like patience and like human nature. I always like start there with my clients. So that would be my answer for you.
Beautiful. And, you know, we were all collectively very upset after the Oscars when they called Chase Infiniti's braids undone.
For sure.
And I texted you immediately. I was like, please come talk to us at Refinery 29 about it because we have to set the record straight. But yes, so often even the culture behind the looks isn't understood in terms of mainstream media. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like as a Black artist, I'm putting myself on the line and my client on the line, and I want to like represent them the best. So it's just like we're in it together. So it's like I don't ever want my client against me or pulling in the wrong direction, because it's like we have to like present this well, honey.
yes.
So like my goal is to always just shine properly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir John, what about you?
So there's two different ideas. When you say we, for me, I'm thinking, does we mean talent? Does we mean
We mean the people in this
the
room.
people? So the people is different. The people don't really have to do anything else. They stay rock steady, like still be the supportive, regardless if it comes, and also continue to keep it a buck with us. You know what I mean? If you don't like something, please politely find an artful way to say this doesn't work or hated it. And I think as long as we, you know what, Dapper Dan says something so key. I was presenting Dennis with an award recently, and so he said, as long as we follow the culture, we won't need any inspiration. So as long as I'm looking to the culture, I don't care what any blogs or anybody else has to say about anything that I'm doing, as long as people are feeling it from a sonic level or a spiritual level. Yeah.
Oh, incredible, incredible. We are so lucky to have you both. Thank you so much for sharing
guys.
so
Thank you.
freely.
Guys,
Give it up for
Give them a
Brooke.
round of
Give it up for
applause.
Brooke.
Amazing. Hot takes and fashion as culture. I am calling up my guest, Sean Crystal. Ryan's not feeling well, unfortunately. But Sean Crystal, come on up. Now,
Hi, divas. Hi, queens.
I love Crystal. Have known Crystal
love
for a
you.
long time.
I
You were
love
on
you so
Naked
much.
Beauty back in 2017,
Yeah.
2018.
And then I
That-
was big and pregnant in 2023.
Right?
Yeah.
And yes, and that's the beauty of having a podcast for 10 years, because over time you get to know people, you see their careers evolve. Crystal's handle on Instagram is beer bottles and chainsaws.
Sorry,
and she
y'all.
does these hilarious takes. And someone commented on Instagram, they said, it took me a long time to realize her first name was not beer bottles and her last name was not chainsaws.
Let me clear it up. So years ago, one of my friends was like, oh, most women are made of sugar and spice and everything nice. You, diva, beer bottles and chainsaws. I was like, you're not wrong. And that it just like, now I can't change it, you know?
And Crystal, what do you do?
I am a creator. I'm a mom. My partner and I have a creative agency together. You know, some of this and some of that.
Yes, amazing, all the things. Sean, welcome back. We did our Met Gala episode last year.
It went kind of viral.
It went very viral. It went very
did not expect to be on this segment.
Oh, what? You are hot
No, I
takes.
was gonna have like a nice beauty segment, you know.
No. We're getting into it. We're getting into
Talk
it.
about skin.
We
you
are
know.
getting into it. Sean, tell us what you do.
I'm a beauty icon.
Period.
All right.
And that's that. But also truly a skincare expert, because
Yes.
my next slide is actually about skin prep before we get into your takes for the different looks. So,
Okay.
are you familiar with 111 Skin?
Yes, I
Yes.
work with them.
Okay, amazing. We've got someone from 111 Skin here in the audience. Do we not? Oh, hello. Hi. So everyone has in their gift bags the cryo depuffing mask, which I am
best.
upset. The best, right?
Yes.
And these black caviar eye patches that really make a huge difference. What are things that you need to do to keep your skin looking great before you hit the carpet? 3 skincare tips.
3 skincare tips: exfoliation, hydration, and lots of moisture.
Okay.
You don't want to do anything like too extreme. Like a lot of people think they want to get like a peel, they want to get laser, but the skin kind of needs like at least like 14 days to kind of heal after those things. Also, if you have like a pimple, you really don't want to like extract it.
Okay, you don't want to touch your face.
You don't really want to touch your face like something that's going to be deep unless you have like someone that can actually use like a lancet, which can like use like a little tiny needle and remove it.
Ooh, okay.
But, like you don't want to use like tools to extract it. Sometimes you can scar and then it can get swollen.
Yes.
So you want to be very gentle with the skin.
Very gentle. So I know you did
Yeah.
Kate Trinata's skin prep last year. Did you do any skin prep this
Yes.
year, or were you free to just enjoy the
No,
Met?
because I retired, so I don't really do that anymore.
You're out of the game.
Yeah.
Well, ahead of the Met Gala, 111 Skin hosted an exclusive artist suite at their spa at the Plaza Hotel in New York, celebrating creative pro artistry community ahead of the event. So pros were invited to replenish their kits with the 111 Skin surgically precise skincare. I had a chance to go to their place on Harley Street in London, and they are just doing the most incredible skincare. So I'm excited for you guys all to experience it in your gift bags. But let's get into these looks, okay? Now, Crystal, I asked you, what are your favorite looks of the Met Gala of all time?
Yeah.
And these were your picks. Let's start with Cher in 1974. What made you choose this look?
I mean, please. This is Bob Mackie. Cher is the blueprint
Yes.
for some of the divas. Like it was just stunning.
I
Love.
tried to channel this look a little bit when I went to the Sacred event. I wore this
did.
feathered
Yes.
Attica. It was giving very much Cher.
Yeah.
And then Lil' Kim in 1999.
So this is Lil' Kim and Versace, and like what I love about the Met Gala pre-2000s, pre-social media, like look at her, she's on a random, like this is like at the Met itself, like it was a tent, it wasn't, you know what I mean? And so like this is just organic showing up, you know what I mean? Like this is how she came, you
Right.
know, there wasn't a ton of press, there was like, you know, it was what it was, there wasn't social media, and like, I mean, Lil' Kim always and will forever be perfection in all the ways that Black women are perfection, so like, yes.
Couldn't have said it better
Yes.
myself. Show of thumbs, thumbs up, thumbs down. Do we love these looks? Yes, thumbs up. I see
Here we
one
go.
thumbs
Okay.
down.
Okay.
We can fight about that.
As long as it's not for Lil' Kim, it can be for Cher. I'm fine with that. But thumbs up for Black women always. Okay.
Now, Sean, you picked this
Yes.
as your favorite Met Gala look of all time. Tell me
I
why.
did?
You did. You know, we were at the Sacred event, and you said, well, I don't want to say what you said, but you were like,
Oh.
yeah, okay. You were. It's coming back to you now.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, this is one of my favorite.
Yes, you said that it was maybe. You said this is kind of BBL fashion. Is the
It
word
was
that-
BBL fashion, but it's like BBL but like couture. I like this. A lot of people didn't love this look, but I feel like this is the perfect kind of essence of Beyonce. Like it's like debutante, it's doll, it's sexy, it's like regal but still like playful. And I
Yes.
really, really like the beauty story here. Like I love how clean her skin looks. I love the hair. I really like this look a lot.
And you know, when she wore this in 2015, naked dresses weren't such a thing.
No, it was like a big thing at Givenchy. Like Riccardo Tisci was kind of doing a lot of this like sheer kind of beading stuff, but I really like it.
No, it all works. Okay, show of panels, thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, people, we're all on the same, all on the same page. We all love it. Okay. I do want to take a moment to talk about the Eve Klein blue, because when I went to the mark yesterday, I pulled out my favorite shade of blue, this ultramarine blue that Eve Klein patented in 1960, which was the first time an artist ever did that, where they said, I'm going to make my signature a specific color shade. And when I was watching the carpet, I was like, oh, a lot of people also decided to tap into Eve Klein blue. So great minds.
Russell Westbrook looks insane though. Let's
Well,
just be
and
honest.
this is why this next section is called
Okay.
Crystal Anderson
Oh.
Reacts.
I was early. My bad.
So, Crystal, I'm going to show you the look, and you're going to tell us what it's giving.
Okay, we're doing one word, quick.
One word,
Okay.
one phrase, and then Sean, you're up next.
Okay.
Okay. Hailey Bieber in Saint Laurent.
Release her from the contract, but not bad.
Oh my God.
Okay. Release her from the Saint Laurent contract. Now,
Please.
what I did learn, which I think is fascinating, is this bodice is made of 24 karat gold, which is kind of incredible.
Yes, and it is based on archival. I didn't love the way this skirt fit. If you see it from this, like I've seen multiple angles of the skirt, and I just didn't love it. Release her, please.
Another Eve Klein blue, Tessa Thompson and Valentino.
Not my favorite diva. Not my favorite.
Why is it not your favorite?
Like I get it. and if you follow me on Instagram, you know I say if I get it, but I don't want it necessarily. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not my favorite. I think she's so stunning. Like, Carla did this, and I get it, but it just wasn't great for me.
Well, I know you are friends with the stylist Carla Welch. I saw her outside of the Mark. So do you like text her on the side? Like,
No, I tell her I don't want to know who you dress, baby. I want to be able to give my opinion.
Right.
Just without anything.
And that's what makes you
If a
who
shot
you
gets
are.
fired, sorry, queen, my bad. But like, yeah, no, this is not. Yeah.
Wisdom K in public school. Now, I love to see creators at the Met Gala, and very few creators are deserving the way Wisdom K is deserving. What do you think of this?
Listen, let me preface it with this, okay? I was genuinely underwhelmed the entire evening. I do think Wisdom should have been there long before tonight. This is also not my favorite, but I also do love public school. You know what I mean? So
I would have liked a little color.
yeah, I think so. He just like he's a genius. He's so deeply good at his work, and this didn't feel like what I needed it to be.
Yes. Laura Harrier and Zach Posen.
I will say this, I am gay, so sometimes the opinion of the design is not really the most important thing, because this, from a gay perspective, is perfect.
Louisa Jacobson and Delara, Turkish designer.
It's giving Mulan extra. No, thank you. No.
Not Mulan.
Yeah.
Jasmine Tookes.
Jasmine Tookes is the most perfect woman on the face of the planet. So to be able to put her in a dress that does not make her look like that is enough to piss me off. So
This didn't nail it for you.
no. I mean, well, let's go back real quick, because I think when we talk about styling, we don't talk enough about the glam. The glam is perfection.
Yes.
The
And-
glam is perfect.
And she has her own body oil bronzing glow. That
Period.
But I do wish they brought it down to the leg.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello.
Right?
Yeah,
They
but
could've
that's
brought it down to
sometimes
the
when you,
leg.
when you can understand, like, if the glam is a black person or not, because
Right.
like, I have a baby. I have a baby. When my kid gets dressed in the morning, baby, we're shellacking you from the head
down.
to the soul.
Yes.
Please,
I will
give
never-
her the baby treatment.
I will never forget. Mavi had a babysitter for the first time, and I said, "How did it go?" Whatever, and he said, "Mommy, after bath, she didn't put lotion on." That was like his. But he knew that like at 3 years old, he knew that
That
was
was
not
a part of
that-
the-
That is
yes.
not what we do as a
Yes.
family.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly the same here. Because like for that clavicle to be that shiny, and then
Right.
for that kneecap to not, hello.
Jeremy Pope in Vivian Westwood.
I love this.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy Pope really gets it wrong. I think it's yeah.
You love this, Sean? Tell me. Tell me, Sean, why
I
you love it.
do, because I actually think he gets it wrong a lot.
Period. Okay, not wrong.
So this I really enjoy, and I just personally really love that Westwood piece. So this is like I think his most impressive look in a very long time. Sometimes it's a little, like, gay, but in the wrong gay way.
Yes,
It's kind of like
yes.
very theatrical and not really like chic. I thought this was like actually really chic.
Iman Hamam, NYSL.
I like it.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it down.
Okay, I'm gonna go lightning speed through these next ones. Sam
Enough.
Smith,
Enough for me.
Yeah, next. Oh, I love.
Gwendolyn Christie.
Jared already did it, and he didn't do it well then, so we don't need to see it again.
Oh,
Again.
Yeah.
okay. Rachel's saying she's here for this. This is Maria Zardoya.
No, please, never.
In Matière Ficale.
I actually didn't see this on the red carpet, so I
She was very theatrical and
this
she
is
was posing too.
real time response. It's fine.
Okay, Rachel Sanat and Marc Jacobs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like I understand, like we're talking about like clothing and body is art, and it's just so literal and also so incredibly fucking boring.
Kim Kardashian.
No.
Okay, I love it.
Okay, I'm getting to you. I'm getting to you. Doechii in Marc Jacobs.
No.
So, can I tell you what I loved about this? I think it is so clever, and I can't believe no one's ever come to the Met barefoot before, because
They shouldn't.
Period. Thank you.
No,
Thank
but
you.
okay.
New York
but
City.
But if the body is art and it's carpeted and you're at the Met, I feel like there's something really fab about being barefoot. It reminded me of that new Chanel shoe that has the toes out. You know, it's like, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was very fab. Okay, Lisa and Robert Woon.
No.
Okay, Sean, over to you.
Okay.
Wait, before Crystal, we finish. What was your favorite look of the night?
I'm gonna tell you my favorite and my least favorite. Favorite, and Emma Chamberlain. And I generally have thought, like, not been a super fan. I think she's amazing at what she's done as a creator and has done it for so long. Just, she was stunning from top to tail. My least favorite, Tyla. I'm like, you cannot be that bad and also look that bad. I don't get it. She was not my fave. She wasn't. So that's where I'm at. Sorry, divas.
Brooke
Sorry.
is speechless.
I had to be honest, guys.
Okay, Sean, we're going to get into your takes on all of these, and then I do want to hear your favorite and least favorite. Okay, now Sabrina Carpenter, you were very hard on Sabrina last year, I remember.
I kind of went.
Did she
viral with it.
redeem herself this year with this Dior look?
Not
Created, okay, not really.
really. No.
This
okay.
is all film strips.
Yeah.
Jonathan Anderson for Dior.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, and a reference to the film Sabrina.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually really love the dress. I feel like this is kind of like an issue with like styling and taste because like the shoe is wrong, the headpiece is like it just does nothing, and her hair. You know, I didn't like her hair last year either. I said it looked dry, and it is nothing has
You're not wrong.
changed. No, but the dress is gorgeous.
Now this one, I'm curious to hear what both of you all thought, because this.
Okay, you know,
Yes.
I'm a reformed barb.
I know you're a reformed barb.
So I actually really liked this. And I liked it because it was kind of, again, like a play on the form of the body. I feel like, you know, it was based on the sculpture of the doll. And so it was like, kind of like exploring proportions in the body. I feel like Cardi B is the perfect vessel for that. She's somebody that uses her body as art. You know, she's very open about surgeries and things she's done. So I feel like this was perfect, especially with the inspiration as the doll. She kind of sees herself as a doll, as like a living thing that she can perfect.
I'm
And so I feel
curious-
like this was interesting. And the shoe was fab.
Oh, I haven't seen the shoot, but I'm curious what people in the audience think. Cardi B and Marc Jacobs, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I called it colonoscopy couture, just so we were aware. If you,
Meacham, I see you have your thumbs down. I'm gonna go to you, Meacham, for a second, because I want to hear why you don't love. Meacham, if you guys don't follow Medium Size Meech on Threads, you need to.
I love Cardi B because I think Sean is right. The way that she uses her body, it's fantastic. But this is giving intestines to me.
yes,
Yeah.
It's very much giving like we're going to go in kaleidoscope. I need to see gyroscope, all that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I usually love what she does. This year, no, I'm not loving this at all.
It's kind of giving like the substance a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a more controversial one.
Also thought her glam looked really good.
her glam was great. I didn't understand the underness of it all.
SZA and Bodhi.
Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that was Bodhi.
I hated this down.
Same.
Like,
Okay, I'm seeing lots of
I
thumbs down
hated
from
it
the
down.
audience.
My thing with SZA is like, she overly adorns herself. Like she doesn't really let herself kind of be the star. She's like kind of cloaking herself, or like she's butt ass naked.
Right.
And this is kind of like, I wish she was butt ass naked because I
Right.
hate this dress. And also, I feel like with
The
certain
way Sean
gir-
doesn't hold back.
Well,
the way certain girls like, you can kind of see where people kind of have like their comfort zone. So I think the dress was a little bit out of her comfort zone, but like she still wanted the same kind of hair. And I just kind of get bored with like the same glam and just like a different dress. So I wish she did something different with the hair.
but also, does Bodhi have authority to make a dress that feels very culturally not what Bodhi does? I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels very like
I don't
Southeast Asian.
Yeah.
And as a bunch of white people, like, and this is someone who's a Bodhi diva. Maybe I don't know if that's your
Bag,
calling.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Kim, what did you think of Kim?
This was so chic. This is the
Ooh,
thing.
now this is
I think-
controversial. So I'm hearing some people say they loved it. Can I get thumbs up, thumbs down?
Oh my God, I love the hair.
Okay, some people love it. Some people
I
don't
love
it.
the hair. I'm not a I'm not a Kardashian apologist. Yeah.
But I also think when she shows up at the Met, she really wants you to know that she's a slave to fashion. I'm not going to be able to pee in this look. I lost 15 pounds on a cabbage diet in this look. Enough.
But you know,
enough.
but
please.
Yes, but you know, also that is her art.
That is her art.
That is her art.
Okay, we've got more looks to get through. Tayana Taylor and Tom Ford.
Okay, I was getting dragged in my group chat because I
know what you think.
love this.
Okay, same.
You loved
I
it.
love
Okay.
Yes, it's like disheveled dance floor diva, like 1970s, like cocaine scrubbing the floor. Like this is fab. And it's very Heidi Ackerman. Like it's a little subversive and
Tate McRae and Ludovic.
I love Tate down. I hate this. And I
terrible.
also hate that the girls keep getting Ludovic because he does, like, if you're not white and skinny, he really can't do anything else. And so that was it.
Zoe and Saint Laurent.
I love this.
Same.
I did.
It's
I
Lydia and Beetlejuice.
I feel like she's a good kind of measure of like staying true to yourself, but then also still being really chic. I don't think she's not like an expressive, creative, artistic person as far as like fashion. She likes very kind of minimal, chic,
Yes,
sleek
she
things.
kind of looks the same at every Met. Like if you were
Yeah.
to put her looks up at every Met, you
Yeah.
wouldn't know what year was what.
It's either like this or like Audrey Hepburn drag. And I really like this. Her glam looks really good too.
Okay, now this was Crystal's least favorite look of the night.
This is my favorite of the night. I'm joking.
Oh. The way I was like to be like, I know we haven't met yet, but can we go 2 rounds? Just.
Oh my God, this makes me sad because Esther's one of my really good friends. So the glam is always gonna
We
be
love
fab.
Esther.
The glam is great.
But the thing
the
with
glam is
Tyla
incredible.
Again, I think it's like a taste thing, and I also think it's a wrong stylist pairing thing. I think the stylist she has doesn't really make sense for what she is as an artist. Like I've seen his work in editorial, and it's completely different who she is as a person. And I feel like she needs a stylist that understands her as like a young, fab African pop star and explore those themes, and
Yes.
not like trying to put her in this kind of tired drag.
How do you think the men did?
Oh my God, can I say I'm obsessed with Jafar Jackson?
Same.
I think he's like the sweetest, gentle, softest person ever. I became a fan of Somber at the Grammys. I like his music, but I don't like this. I don't like anything that feels like Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't really like it.
Crystal, Sean, how did these men do? Russell Westbrook and Zach Posen and Hudson Williams and Balenciaga.
These are the 2 most irritating people ever.
I don't need to add, I don't, but this is them, the lemon pepper steppers, and this
That's not a lemon
fuck
pepper.
ass,
That's not
like
a lemon pepper.
2-piece, please. No.
I'm also like, it's so queer baited, like I can't do it.
Which is also a thing. It's like,
Yeah.
I know what you're doing, queen, and you're not a queen,
Yeah.
and you could never be a doll, and you know how I can tell that? Because you don't have a shirt on, and the dolls wouldn't give it up like that. So please, to
Yeah.
the back. Looks better already.
You know,
Enough.
I'm not a Heated Rivalry fan.
Oh, you're missing out.
I'm
Yeah.
not. I watched it, and I'm...
Oh, I
You
loved
know.
it.
Oh, you watched it and didn't love.
No,
no,
I
I
have
love it.
steamier Saturday nights than that show.
Oh.
That did nothing for me. And yeah, it's very like PBS sex. Like it's not really given. However,
I said this section was going to get hot.
yeah, I just don't get the appeal of Hudson Williams. And then also, I don't like when straight men play in queer culture. Like,
That's true. That's
No.
fair.
I thought, is he straight?
he straight has a girlfriend.
But I think he's bi. Okay, we don't know.
I didn't.
We do know he has
I
a
didn't
girlfriend.
mind it. We didn't need the long train, and I think it would have been fine and put a shirt on underneath it. Like enough already.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Balenciaga kind of, yeah.
Well,
You all were great. Thank you so much.
Thank
Wait,
you.
Sean, I didn't get your favorite. Did we get your favorite look of the night and your least favorite of the
No.
night?
Oh, what was my favorite? I really liked, it was like my top. I really like Anok and Balenciaga. And I really liked, a lot of people didn't like Rihanna's, but I really liked Rihanna's Margiela moment. And the way she explained it was perfect. It's like, it reminded her of Barbados, being an oyster. She wanted to be covered in pearls that were tarnished, not pretty and perfect. So I thought it was fab.
Gorgeous. Thank you all so
Thanks,
much.
queens.
Thank
Such
you.
a
Thank you, Brooke.
pleasure. All right. Now, the theme of the Met this year was costume art. And I think one of the things that gets lost when we talk about the Met Gala is that it is a fundraiser for the Costume Institute at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And so many of the stylists went to historical references to create the looks. But I'm going to introduce our next panel. Recho, Darian, Steven, Simeone, come to the front. Now, before we get...
We have to retire this headshot. This is like from 2010. But it's okay.
Mine's really high definition.
I know.
Whatever works.
Sorry, y'all. This is a Canva project. This is late night throwing things in. I'm doing my Justin Bieber up here. I'm like, I've got my laptop. Okay. So before we get into some of your faves, please introduce yourselves.
My name is Darian Harvin. I am a beauty and culture writer. I'm a host of Full Coverage. We break down beauty looks, interview the beauty artists who constructed them on the carpet. We had our show last night.
Congratulations. One of my favorite writers and longtime friend.
Yes.
Recho.
Oh, me, hi. My name is Recho. I am a podcaster. I host Cutting Room Floor.
Yes, we know it. We love it.
Love. And that's it.
I'm Steven Simeone. I'm a beauty and fashion photographer. I've been working with Brooke for the better part of like 3 to 4 years at this point.
As soon as I moved to LA, and my Naked Beauty podcast artwork is shot by Steven.
Yes. Yeah, and the fragrance.
And the fragrance campaign and my headshots.
And we did the
Refinery 29 lookbook
with Sir John.
Yes,
and Corey.
Steven and I are locked in.
All of my best stuff is with you.
Oh, thank you. Well, some of my favorite people on this couch, I had to ask you guys your favorite Met looks of all time, and these are what you chose. So, Rachel, I'm going to start with you. You chose Rihanna. Oh, no, you chose Rihanna in the Pope outfit.
I didn't pick this. Yeah, I chose Rihanna the year after this.
Yes.
Which was like the silver, I don't know if you guys remember, like, almost like a Catholic Pope situation in, I think, Galliano for Margiela. But this was cool too, but this just wasn't like my top favorite.
Yes. Okay. I like that one too.
Darian.
Oh, well, for me, Solange in all is someone who doesn't do things just as a stunt. Mm-hmm. I think that she is someone who is beyond intent. It's not about even intention. It's about her practice as an artist. This is the last time we saw her at the Met. And so if she's showing up, it's sure maybe 2018, I feel like I'm trying to think about when I Come Home came out. I can't particularly remember like
her last album came out in 2016.
In 2016. So we know that like she was still in the ether as her music continues to be. It's just not about 2016. And so I love what she had to say with this look. I feel like it's just this balance of both an adornment around the hair. She has recently also cut her hair as well. And so I just love her presence, her energy. I think that anytime that she shows up, it's also it's not just like to show up. It's because she has something that she specifically wants to say. And I think she just looks really great. I'll always remember the halo.
Yes. Steven.
I can't explain it, but when I saw this look, I was just, I don't know. I stopped in my tracks, and there was not one bad picture of her. I love the makeup. I love the hair. I think that they said that this is around like 98,000 Swarovski crystals, and she had like 200 carats worth of diamonds on her. I don't know. She just looks perfect.
She is staying at the hotel I'm currently staying at, and I was checking in, and she was in Uggs and like a puffer coat, and was the most beautiful woman I have ever seen in my life. Like in a way that takes your breath away. Like she is just a supermodel on another level.
She has a lot of good looks at the Met, I think.
Yes.
She's like pretty consistent.
Yeah, even last night she looked incredible.
She looked incredible.
Yeah.
I could weep.
Yeah, same. I feel like you and I get along with like all the same looks.
I was emotional.
Rachel, I'm going to start with you because I have a bigger question about culture at large as someone who really looks at the fashion world, but also, you study people and you study people's reaction to culture. Why do you think the Met Gala is something that, people at home, living wherever in their sweatpants are so tuned into? What is it about the Met Gala that draws people in?
Well, that's such a tricky question because I think some of it is organic and I think some of it's manufactured. Mm-hmm. So like nowadays, I feel like you can't ignore it.
Right.
Which isn't even a choice. Like it kind of invades my social feed in a way that I would prefer to be able to opt into, and I can't really. So I think that's what it used to be versus what it is today, I think are two very different things. But I guess what's the question? Like why do people care?
Yes,
why do they watch?
Why do people care? With all that we have going on in the world, some people would say this is very superficial, unimportant. There was a lot of discussion about even protesting the Met this year.
I think a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people don't care.
Yeah.
And I think the ones who don't care, first of all, are nowhere even near this conversation. They're like living their lives somewhere else. Like maybe they know of it and they've heard of it. I have a lot of good friends from where I'm from who really don't know anything about this world. They don't know about brands and celebrities and like they don't know about any of this. So they might know the word Met Gala and be like, okay, cool. But then there's also the part, I just think it's harder to believe in fantasy today than it used to be. When we were growing up in the 90s and the 2000s and celebrity culture, all that stuff felt so titillating and exciting. And the Met Ball felt like this kind of esoteric, faraway place that, I mean, it was called a ball. And like as Americans, we don't really have like an aristocracy in that way. So like that, I think symbolized something that was very elite and hard to get into. And I think as the years have gone on, it's become a lot more commercial and it's been cheapened quite a bit. And I also think it's more mass in a way, commercialized. And I think, again, like it's hard to believe in fantasy because a lot of the facades that we have known of or grown up on have now broken. And that's from government, politics, Hollywood, celebrity, the food industry. Like there's a lot of smoke and mirrors that have been, you know, we're all quite disillusioned. So I think when it comes to things like that, you know, even the idea of like BTS has something that's been stripped down. So now like we're behind the BTS and we all have phones and we all see everything in real time. So I just think there's a little bit of that magic is gone. And this is just my opinion. I guess I can't speak for everybody else, but I think to your point, like people care and we watch for rooms like this, like where we can just like enjoy it and take away the socio-political concept and be like, I love that look, I love that glam, and all of us are probably here because we love fashion and stuff like that. But then and then obviously there's, you know, the investment into the fundraising for the museum and for the Costume Institute, which is all very valid. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's harder and harder to care about stuff like this, unless it's purely from the perspective of just like for funsies and it's a little bit of dessert after dinner and you're like, okay, I like that look. But I'm not as bought into any of this stuff as I was, you know, growing up. And I just think life is too hard and too real now that you can use it as escapism if you need it.
Yes.
But I don't know that there's that like investment the way there used to be. I think that's why people are protesting, and it feels very like let them eat cake.
Sure.
We've all lost a bit, or we've been stripped away of what used to make it special, what we used to be in it for, what we wanted to get the girls, you know, to aspire to. It doesn't feel the same. And so even being in it, and listen, I'm grateful to, you know, be in the room with you guys or even have this conversation with you, but it doesn't, I don't think any of our heads are in it the same way. I'm talking about all of the makeup artists who are known by first names, the hairstylists, you know, the stylists. None of us are really like, oh my God, I can't wait to fucking do the Met this year. No, we have not.
I don't even think the talent feels that way. I think some of them are there because they're coming with the brands and it's a job and it's a gig and they got to show up and clock in the way the rest of us do. I think there's a mass disillusionment in general, but people keep going the same way all of us show up to our jobs. We're like, okay, like it's not because people don't know what's going on in the world. They're like, I'm going with Saint Laurent, I'm under contract, I need to be there. Where time is a glance? Like, you know what I mean? Everyone's just kind of going through the motions, I think.
And I'll just say at this point, I think that for me, it is about these moments at very most and at very least now being a moment for like connection and creativity. Like if this is an opportunity for me to like sit here with these incredible, talented human beings, I can meet new people, I can see people who I haven't seen in a long time. We can talk craft and creativity. I can hear from Sir John about his approach. He can give me some things that I've never thought about before, or he can give me more of an understanding of like other ways that like you can operate and bring a look to life. Like I feel like I'm monopolizing off of the Met for that or the Oscars for that.
Yes.
That's my power to me.
Yeah.
And also this is very fun. Like this is so smart.
Fun.
This is so genius,
Thank
Brooke.
you.
Like to be able to do it with other people, because I do it on my phone and in the DMs and be like, girl, this is a mess. But to do it in community, this is like actually what makes it really enjoyable, I think.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
So great.
And Stephen, you as a photographer, I think one thing that's really interesting is like there's the red carpet Getty Images photos, which, you know, there's not as much control. Even though I learned from you, Getty is retouched, y'all. We have been lied to. People say Getty's
depends
not.
on the client.
It depends on the client. Yeah.
Yeah.
The images that the talent wants to post on their Instagram feed, and there's a whole like shoot before you even get onto the carpet. Can you talk a little bit about that, about how photographers basically set up to capture the look before, because that becomes almost as important as the red carpet image.
Yeah, totally. I know a lot of these artists, they want their pictures taken before. Last year I was with Mary J. Blige, and the year before I was with Kris Jenner. And they want their pictures turned around really quickly, almost even before these, like the Getty Images pictures hit the carpet,
Because they want
their website.
They want that to be the first look at their.
Exactly, and you know, these people are so big, they want to turn anything into a moment, and you can control the lighting more so. Like Sir John was saying, like most people don't use flash on the red carpet. When I was working for Getty, I was using flash. I think a lot of people did appreciate that.
Wait, Getty doesn't use flash?
You know, you kind of have that choice of whether you want to use it or not. And I think that maybe some photographers want to be a little shady and maybe don't want to use flash so they can show the texture, and then you know those pictures sell.
Oh, true.
When you
Wow, fascinating. So this is fascinating. You use that almost as a tactic.
It's kind of more of an unspoken thing. I think because like I never felt like I was going to be working for Getty for the rest of my life. I knew that I wanted to kind of pursue beauty and fashion a little more professionally. I always used flash. But a lot of these people who make royalties on their photos like don't really care.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, let's get into some of the best looks of the night. This was, I think, a fan favorite from everyone. Show of thumbs. Who loved Emma Chamberlain in Mugler? This was the first look I saw on the carpet, and I said, she is the one to beat for me.
Yeah.
Because this is just incredible. Okay. I think, Rachel, you picked this as one of your favorite looks, correct?
I think so, yeah.
What did you love about it?
So let me just back up real quick. I got into Emma Chamberlain during COVID. I heard that she was like buzzy. I didn't really know any of her tea, any of her lore. And since I had so much free time, I was like, let me watch her very first YouTube video and start from scratch. So I really got into her story. And I think as somebody who's a creator who doesn't come from that world, who is a YouTube star, for her to commit to the world of fashion the way she has over the last several years is like a segue that not many people can do very well. I think there's a full-blown commitment. I think she is, and this is something that I've criticized before, like when people go to the Met trying their best to look, and I can appreciate this, but like pretty, I'm never as like engaged. She's not so concerned with looking pretty. And I think that's why she's able to like really push it with her fashion. I saw her at Paris Fashion Week this last season, and she was turning looks. Like she's committed. Like it's an all day process, hair, makeup, glam, like the whole thing. Her stylist, Jared.
Yeah.
So like I just appreciate her from going from YouTuber to fashion girl and like her really leaning into it. But I just think the color is beautiful. It's like looks like a painting, the way she's holding herself. I think the glam works for it. I like this ascension, this kind of crescendo into like light into dark at the end. It just kind of looks like a muddy like paint palette. So I don't know, who is this? Mugler, right?
Yes. You just
The
made me
back is
realize
gorgeous.
something.
I think it's great.
Do you think that some creators aren't able to ascend into the world of fashion because they are unwilling to not look pretty?
No, I don't think it's that. I don't think there's a literacy into the fashion world. I think it's just something, this is why I love The Devil Wears Prada, because like when that movie came out 20 years ago, it introduced the idea that you need to have a literacy to this business. It's not about shopping, and it's not necessarily even about being well connected, although that helps. I think if you get the right stylist, and I mean, you know, Sean spoke to it even earlier on the couch where there was like, oh, it's a styling thing, it's a taste thing, something's not working. So you can have everything and it still not land. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like how many pop stars do we know, big pop stars that were just like,
right.
How you have you have no excuse. So I don't know exactly, like some people I think choose that they're like, I want to learn, I want to know how this works, I want to be good at this, who's the best of the best, I want to go to the shows. I mean, we saw Kim learn over the last like 15 years, you know what I mean, when she didn't really know. So I don't know what it is. I think YouTube, like content creation is very different than like being a fashion person.
Right.
So I don't know, I think she's committed to figuring it out, and she's figured it out.
I agree. Okay.
I shouldn't speak.
Darian.
Say it to me.
Darian, what did we think of Beyonce?
I thought that she looked like Beyonce. I don't have
What does that
true,
mean?
like visceral reaction to it. I think I actually feel both. I think it's like, what exactly are we responding to? Because I, as a beauty girl, am looking at like hair and makeup, but obviously, as we know, it's like around the style. It to me doesn't feel like anything that like might settle well today, but in 5 years, in 10 years, whatever the Tumblr or the Pinterest or the Instagram will be, this will be the photo that people share and that our young children will love.
Yes.
It will.
And I was just so excited to see Blue on the carpet.
Now, this is my girl.
We were screaming when we were watching at the Mark. We were like, "Oh my goodness!
And I
Look
think that
at
they were
tan
saying-
lines."
Yes, the tan
Weren't they saying that
line.
like she like not broke the rule, but Anna made the exception because she's not 18 to be on the
Yes,
carpet?
I think she's the first person under 18 to ever walk the Met Gala red carpet.
I wish you wouldn't have done Sunnies. I wanted to see your face.
I always love her sunnies. That feels intentional.
Really?
Yeah.
That's my only
She
note.
looks
I'm
like
like,
a
I
boss.
want to see
She's
her.
pulling an
She looks
Anna.
cool.
She's pulling an Anna. She's like, you don't get to see my eyes.
Yeah.
This was just such a moment. And Mother's Day is coming up. So as a mother, I loved. Okay, Chase Infiniti and Tom Brown. What'd you guys think?
Perfection.
Perfection.
I loved it.
She's just been killing it.
And you don't see a lot of people like really pulling off the primary colors, and I just thought she did it so well, and that her hair also complemented very well too.
Corey. Okay, Darian, I want to talk to you about athletes on the carpet specifically. Angel Reese as well. I think we now also see the Met Gala as this opportunity for personal branding, and we're seeing more and more women in sports become part of the conversation. How do you think about the way that athletes show up in this fashion space?
I love to see the different ways that athletes decide to show up in the fashion space, because I think that it has also become like this experiment for them. When we're looking at like Serena Williams, Venus Williams, and then also Naomi, it's like interesting because they're sisters and they represent a specific era, but like Naomi is kind of in her own as well. They're both also tennis players, and so even though I don't love Serena Williams' look here, I think it's still really important to remember that like she is one of the first pop star athletes. We saw her in music videos, we saw her on red carpets when she got to like a specific place within her career, and so sometimes she nails it, sometimes she doesn't. But I think that like when we're talking about these two women, they are two women who have like been within the pop culture lexicon in the same way that like Michael Jordan had been, but we just don't really give them their flowers in that way.
Yes. Recho and Steven, what did you think about the way the men showed up?
This is no shade, but I like rarely pay attention to the men. They have to do something like really extraordinary, or if they have to like stunt, like for me to know, like a Bad Bunny, like looking 53, like. I don't know. I'm always paying attention to the girlies, but this is good. This is fine.
But Coleman does show out, I feel like
Yeah.
I do pay attention to Coleman. He's an exception.
He always, I feel like, gives it. Coleman.
Speaking of Bad Bunny showing out, so first of all, was anyone watching the live stream, and did you guys know it was Bad Bunny when he came out?
I didn't. Couldn't tell.
I didn't know it was him.
I'm
but
looking at my
it
dad.
seems on
Dad,
brand
would
for
you know
him.
this was Bad Bunny? Oh, okay. My dad is very pop culture savvy. He knows everything. I thought that more people were going to lean into the costume makeup and special effects and prosthetics.
It kind of reminded me of like when The Weeknd had all those prosthetics.
Exactly. Heidi Klum did it, and Bad
She's so
Bunny
crazy,
did it.
and I love her.
I love her.
I respect it.
I respect it.
I love her.
Halloween came early, I guess.
I would be
you know?
disappointed if she didn't.
Yes. Someone like a Kiki Palmer, what do we think?
Perfect.
Perfect. Really cute.
I love the red hair with it too.
Yeah.
I think it's so pretty anywhere else. Vanity Fair, after party, like so many other carpets. I just said this isn't what I want for the Met for her. But I think it's gorgeous. I mean, I have no notes. It's beautiful.
I love the eye makeup.
More athletes on the carpet. Angel Reese.
I loved
Alyssa
Angel
Liu.
Reese. I loved it. I will say that photo's not doing it justice. I watched it on the live stream, and like when she came on the carpet, I was like, who is that?
But
it had this big cape, like kind of. I loved it.
But my question for you is, do you feel like she did more of the Met theme than Kiki Palmer did? Like, did it give, like, this to me is very pretty in that same way?
They both get the same criticism from me.
Okay.
I just want to say that it looked better in movement than it does in this photo.
Okay.
Yes. Blake Lively, often cited as the queen of the Met Gala. Recho, you had a visceral reaction. Let's start with you.
I just know too much about the lawsuit, and so I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm surprised she came. I'm surprised she was invited, to be honest.
I think she looks stunning, but I can't unsee that one dress that she had where it was like the reference to like New York, right? That she
Oh,
had
the Statue of Liberty
the Statue
dress.
of Liberty
That
dress
was incredible.
perfection. I think that was my favorite look of hers.
I think I have an unfair bias towards her that will never go away, so I don't think I'm the right person to talk about. But I will say, if you go back real quick, the Met, like, production is so stunning this year.
Yes.
The carpet, the cement, the moss, the way they made that look, it was so beautiful.
Inspired by a Van Gogh painting. And I'm always curious, how much stylists know ahead of time about what the carpet looks like, how much they share. Because I feel like that is a big part of how things kind of come together. We talked about Bodhi. I'm going to pause and ask you guys 2 more questions, and then I'm going to move on to the next section. Recho, could you talk a little bit about the relationship between the designers, the role Anna plays, and the talent that's selected? Because I think a lot of people maybe don't understand how it all works in terms of like a designer is chosen, they get a table, then they get to choose their people, but then Anna still has to approve.
But the designers have to buy a table.
Yes.
And
$300,000.
Yeah, or an individual could buy a table as well, I think, but those are like upwards of $100,000, I think, too.
Yes, very expensive.
And then the designer brings talent on behalf of their brand to come sit at the table. So you're going on behalf of a designer, or you're attending. And then if you're like under contract, then obviously you're going with that brand.
Yes.
And then Anna approves the guest list. I mean, that's the 1 and 2s of it, right?
Yes, but and I think there's a really interesting push and pull also around PR, right? Because this is an investment. So if you're paying $300,000 for a table, you want to make sure that you're getting as much PR coverage as possible.
Yep.
So that's when you have to think about, okay, who do I want wearing my look to get the right amount of press coverage? So it becomes a little bit competitive, which is interesting. Yes, Sean.
So a few of my friends have taken certain girls to the Met, and it's not who they wanted to take. So like they were taking talent, or they were going to the Met, and then Anna chose who they were going to take, and they didn't really have a say in it. So then they had to make a look for somebody that they necessarily didn't care to take to the Met.
Yeah, she has a lot of power over the Met and who's going to be there.
Yes, yes. Darian, question for you. How do you think people use the Met Gala as a moment for their career? I know that like last year, Damson wore the F1 helmet on the carpet and people were like, he's never going to be invited again. I think about Andre 3000 wearing the piano on his back that was also the same as the album cover. How are we seeing celebrities use the Met Gala to, and everyone thought that Beyonce was going to announce Act 3.
Yeah, and they were looking for signs and also symbols. And I saw one thing where it was like the skeleton rock, it turns into rock.
Yes.
Rock.
Act 3 is
Act
rock.
3. And I was like, I am actually too deep into this conspiracy theories, lore breakers world of Beyonce right now. But if I'm being honest with you, what's interesting that it does feel to me like far few in between. I don't feel like I see it very often. So it's almost like when you decide to, my personal take on it is almost like boring. It's both like, it's like daring in the sense of like, is this the moment where you want to do it? And also it's like you resorted to that versus it's like, actually, you could use this as an opportunity to really create something that you nail around the theme to like bring attention to who you are. That's actually how you do PR.
Yes, yes. Bring attention to who you are. I'm going to ask you guys final question, your favorite look of the night.
For me, it has to be Emma Chamberlain.
Yeah,
I think
she did great.
The hair, the makeup, the look, everything was perfection.
Isolde?
Yes.
French black, yes. I thought that she looked incredible. On full coverage last night, we had Naivasha, who did her hair. She ended up wearing a hat that she did end up taking off, but I think that she is an incredible force. Nai told me that she actually, when she came, she had her own materials and her own hair. Nai brought things as well, and they did like a choppy Tina Turner inspired look. But I just thought she looked really incredible.
She did. Yeah. Recho, your favorite?
I think mine is a knock, which we didn't show up here.
I'm getting to her. She's in the next section.
I thought I was very emotional over that, but I just have a couple of other honorary mentions. I thought Lala Anthony looked amazing. She was like hosting this kind of like wooden dress, and then
that's interesting.
You didn't like it?
I didn't love it.
Really? I thought it was so pretty. And the red bombshell, like I'm also comparing it to like how I've seen these people show up before. So this is like better than I've seen. Eileen Gu, I don't know if you guys know who that is. She's an athlete. She wore the bubbles dress. I thought that was fantastic. And Sabine Getty, she had this like painting Paloma Alcester as well.
Oh yes, Paloma's dress was amazing with the silver ear. So much artistry. Thank you all for taking us on this journey through fashion as craft and culture. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Amazing. We have one last section. I'm going to introduce our final panel. Ivy Coco, Aston M, come on up.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, people.
Hi. My favorites. I mean, Ivy, you do these incredible looks for your mom, Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Thank you.
Incredible, and you always kill it on the red carpet. And we've been talking so much about wardrobe and styling and what a big part of creating looks that is. So I'm so excited to get your expertise. And Aston, you know, I'm such a huge fan of your videos. If you guys don't follow Aston on every platform, you need to. Please introduce yourselves and what you do, and we're going to get into it.
Yeah, I'm Ivy Coco. I'm a stylist, but I'm also a community organizer. So I always say I serve looks, but I also serve my community.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Aston M, and I'm a content creator that roots for everybody black. So, yeah.
We're going to jump straight into it. So Yasult, a lot of people talked about Yasult. What did we think about this look, guys?
I wasn't mad at it. I know I'm not the only one who, for a second, I thought this was Divine Joy for a moment. And then I was like, oh, wait, it's not Divine. But when she took off her hat, I actually enjoyed the Tina Turner-esque haircut. The makeup was superb on her. I would have loved without the hat, but I think she's amazing. I love her body. And yeah, I wanted to see her face more. I think she has a gorgeous face, and the makeup was a beat, and I wanted to see that beat.
Aston, this was one of your favorite looks. What made you choose it?
Yeah, because she often pulls. That's number one. And number two, it was bodies for me. I thought there was going to be more body diversity last night, and there wasn't. There was an opportunity. I saw the preview of the Met Gala, and there were a lot of mannequins that were plus, and there was none of that, or rarely that, last night, which I didn't really love. But I love the nude body right here, that gemming there. I love the belly button.
Yes.
It's so good. Yeah, I love that.
We've talked a lot about her.
She made me want to cry in the best way possible.
Yeah.
And like the tears are so palpable, but if you go into the detail of the hair, it really feels like it is like her hair is almost stiff in a good way. Like the detail in the gold, and even I think she has some contacts and maybe in her eyes, but the way it is so detailed, it's giving almost Virgin Mary as well. Like I felt seen and understood and empowered, and yeah, it was so palpable. She just felt like moving art.
A knock from me was major because the night before there was like footage of her like sneaking into her sprinter, and she was covered up, and like everybody knew what was going on. It was this. I think it was like a test run for the beauty, and I'm glad we didn't get to see it, because to get to see it last night like this is insane. Like it's like Bronze Goddess. I think it's a tribute to like the Widow of Sorrows or the Mother of Sorrows. It's just fabulous. Fabu.
Kylie Jenner and Kendall Jenner.
I'll sit this one out.
I feel like we've seen it before. We can all agree with that. We've seen it before.
Thumbs, paddles. Did you guys love this look? I'm seeing a lot of thumbs down. Maybe a little boring.
Yeah.
ASAP Rocky and Chanel.
ASAP for me is such an icon, just for like the Harlem thing and how he like leans into fashion. He's such an inspiration to me because he also plays with the feminine a lot. I love that Rihanna loves like that too. You know what I mean? I love the Chanel ambassador and him being black too. Again, everybody black. It's just fab. I love him so much.
Yeah, I love him being in Chanel, but I also love the details of the braids. Like, I think I love seeing black men be empowered with their hair and their textures and the way he commits to the details. So I don't know who his braider is, but I'm giving him or her 10 stars. I love the details in his hair every time.
Shout out to Shauna Miles. That's his hairstyle.
Okay.
Fabo.
Aston always has the credits. Rihanna and Mason Margiela.
I didn't love it.
Okay, Aston, why did you not love it?
You know what it is about the Met for me? I expect something new. So when people take things straight off the runway and just put it on, it felt like this was the couture show, and they just said, let's just do that in another color for her. And I feel like she does better than this, in my opinion. It's not my favorite.
we have another close-up, and this one is from our friends at MAC Cosmetics. Ace, I saw your hand first. Do you want to guess who this is?
That is Doja Cat.
Yes. And where are our friends from MAC Cosmetics? They're somewhere here. Monique, I'm going to give you the mic. Could you share a little bit about how this look came together? I'm going to show the images on screen, but would love to hear a little bit more. And introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Monique McKenzie. I head up all of our celebrity and brand partnerships at MAC. So I really want to credit her artist, Ivan, who she's worked with for quite a bit. He really wanted to go with sort of this like 80s glam, sultry nude, and that was really the essence, was given this nude look, which you can see based upon like the nude lip as well as like the nude eye. But one thing about her, she really loves like a bold eye. Specifically, you can see in the liner, this is actually a new liner that we have coming out, shameless plug, in a few months, but she really wanted to go bold and sultry. And then she has like her signature sort of razor thin brow. So he really wanted it to look like her, but still very nude and iconic and classic, and especially to just match this nude color of her Saint Laurent dress.
Also, shout out to her makeup artist. Like, he really takes her there. Like, when she was on tour, her look, insanity.
What I love about this look is it feels like a look that I could achieve like it feels like something that is doable. And we love a MAC liner in cork. I mean, that is like a classic, classic, classic. So, so good. If you were one of the winners of the close-up earlier, we have 5 full kits of Doja Cat's full makeup look for you to claim. So find tomorrow if you were one of the close-up winners to get into it. But this look is really inspiring me, and I need to try a graphic liner and I like how it goes in a little bit on like that inner corner. Yeah. You see how it goes a little deeper than normal?
Yeah, it's cat-like.
It's stunning. It's stunning. I mean, this is...
The lip is everything.
The lip is everything.
Lip is everything. Yeah. I think when she first graced the red carpet or the stairs, I looked at her makeup first.
Yes.
Like, and also the hair and everything. And it's just like everything's so seamless.
And when you're this gorgeous, you don't have to do a whole lot.
Not much.
Not much. Not much. Yes. These are all of the products used for this incredible look on Doja Cat. Let's talk about Katy Perry and Stella McCartney. What do you all think of this?
I feel like everybody was like, who is that? Who is that? And she took it off and it was like, oh.
Yeah, I in full honesty, I don't really think a lot of it. I was like, oh, it's cool. I was just thinking about the Dries Van Noten show earlier, like in 2025 summer at Couture Week, and it kind of resembled that. But I don't know. I really wasn't like inspired. I wasn't wowed. I wasn't. But you know, Katy Perry, she's always known for doing something different, and I think that's cool.
Yes, this was a risk, very literal art look from Ben Platt. Any thoughts on this?
No.
not a lot.
Why do men get shoes wrong all the time? They're always so big and like platformy.
Sabine Getty, this was one of, I think, a really interesting interpretation of the theme. What thoughts on this look?
This is my first time actually seeing this look. I'm really interested in the details of it. For a second, the double hand scared me. I was like, did she have 2 hands? But I'd love to know like what the fabric of the detail is. I think her hair and makeup is gorgeous, but this was actually my first time seeing that look.
Aston, this was one of your favorites.
It was, and people didn't like it. They were like, it's so black, it's so black. And I'm like, I think it was just the life around her belly because she's pregnant. So adding that pink and that being the blooming, I think there was like that type of, and people didn't like the shoe either. I don't mind the shoe.
It's a classic Tom Brown shoe.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Black
Tom
and
Brown
white.
shoe. Another Tom Brown look, very daring. Thoughts?
I like it. I like Tom Brown in general. I feel like Tom Brown has really been like acing it, like every event, every time. So this is a yeah for me.
Who were your favorite looks of the night?
I love the storytelling of Naomi Osaka. I always love when there's a pre-show before the gala, when someone, you know, when Lady Gaga, she had so many different looks. I loved the Cinderella moment between Law Roach and Zendaya. So I love when somebody's able to almost give us a little show before the actual show. So I think I love the presentation of Naomi Osaka and how she transformed.
Yes. Aston, who do you think was missing from the Met? Like who was there anyone that you were craving or you wanted to see?
I think I was so underwhelmed. I was like, just turn this off.
Really? So
Yeah.
So you
I
were
was
just
not at all. Like it just was so like, okay. Like it just never got. I think as the night came on and the bigger stars came out, it got a little like
Better.
hot, but it was really like dull this year. I don't know what that was.
So I think it's interesting. You as someone as a creator who gives commentary on looks, I think some people are afraid to take risks because they're worried about being ripped to shreds on a green screen by someone like you. So how does talent find that balance between like wanting to take it there and create a look, but then also saying I don't want to end up on the worst dress list?
It was actually my critique last night. I think social media has throttled fashion ambition, because you see the looks instant, so people are coming up with an opinion very fast. I think social media keeps people from trying, and last night was a key sign of that. I think it's just people are afraid of people on the internet. People are afraid of criticism.
Yes.
And they're not as confident as they say they are.
Yes. Well, before we wrap this panel, let's give some words of encouragement for people to try things with their look. You are someone that is so immersed in style and expression through clothing. What words of encouragement would you have for people that just want to take some of this like Met Gala magic and bring it into their everyday life? Question for both of you all.
I mean, wear the outfit, don't let the outfit wear you, because I think we saw that a lot yesterday. I think also one thing that I do within like my wellness practice and as a stylist, I'm very affirmational. So I think a lot of the times when you see on these carpets, sometimes people look uncomfortable. They don't really feel like they're engaging with their dress or if they really, really like it. So it's like, I know for me, I'm always like, I need to have an affirmation, some words of wisdom, or just doing some easy breath work before I work on go on these red carpets. This is something that I implement with my clients as well, because I think wellness and being in a high volume space like fashion, beauty, entertainment, like we need to have a level of grounding, because you're not going to be grounded on these red carpets.
Yes.
So the most important is feeling good, but also from the inside out and being intentional with that. So find your word of affirmation and let that be the best accessory.
I love that.
I think a lot of people don't know who they are. Identity, when they say be yourself, that's easy to say, but like when you have to hold on to things that make you uncomfortable about yourself, things like that, I think identity plays a lot. Like fashion and identity are like this, and most people don't realize that. I think I was looking at it was like watching on the street pages where they like photograph, and I realized a lot of people, I think they think it's individualistic, but it's just their algorithm speaking to them. I think finding yourself and being committed to who you are will be better off with fashion if you understand your identity better.
Absolutely. So. What an incredible note to end on. Thank you so much for being here. Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
And a round of applause for all of the incredible panelists that joined us today. I want to invite you all to just down the hallway. We've got a little mixer going on with some light bites and some food. Please meet someone new, introduce yourself. There's so many great people in this room. I was so grateful to be able to spend this afternoon with you all. So thank you all for allowing me to be here with you all.